We're live, pal. Welcome to
Go for the Pin Wrestling Review Show.
With your boys, Mikey Q and
King V, aka Ember Moon Knight, aka Michelle McCool Running, aka Summer Ray Charles,
Mikey Q and King V.
King V, what's going on, homie?
Give your energy and feed that vibe into the world.
Mike, you still owe me a chopped cheese.
I mean,
Go for it,
Welcome to Go for the Pin, episode 106, with your boys, Mikey Q and
King V, aka Corinne Bailey Rey Mysterio, and we are
okay.
Girl, put your records on. All right, and we're here to talk about wrestling. And
We are here to talk about
other
wrestling.
things. Big things are going.
Big things are going, yes. But tonight, first, before we talk about all of the other wrestling business, we got a special guest in the building tonight. You know, it's like it's hit after hit after hit after hit. You know, I'm just saying, like
banger
you know what I mean?
after
It's hit
banger after banger
after banger
after banger after banger.
Well, this is gonna be a banger of the show. A banger of a show, excuse me. All right, listen. This is a guest I've wanted on for a very, very, very long time. All right. This guy's super talented. He's helped me out. We'll get to that. He is the creator of the Battleclub Pro Battleweight division and Nemesis Battleweight Championship. He's the ultra talented Danny Nemesis is in the building. Welcome to Go for the Pin. What's up, Danny? How you been, bro?
I am exhausted, but I'm good.
I hear that. I hear that. Shout out to DJ Knuckles, who is also in the green room. I see you, Knuckles. Give me a second. Danny, wanted to talk to you for a long time, my brother.
I appreciate you.
For those that don't know, right? A lot of the graphics, a lot of the things that you guys see in wrestling, if you're a fan of Battleclub Pro, this man to my right, left, I don't know how it's looking right now, has created it. Class B has created it. So we got to get into all of that, right? We're going to get to all of that. But first of all, I want to get into your art background before we get into anything. So when did it start? When did you decide? Well, when did you discover that you had this talent to design and draw and things of that nature?
That's a tricky question, dude. Just really because I've been drawing for as long as I have memory. We're talking childhood, kindergarten time, you know, like drawing was my hobby. I was never the athletic kid. I was always the artsy kid. I was always it went from crayons to pencils to markers to everything else, you know, like it was always creating some sort of artwork. I was a huge Saturday morning cartoons kid, you know.
Yeah.
Comic books and obviously wrestling, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, all of that stuff was crack to me, you know, and you know, I couldn't do it, right? So I drew it, right? So that was like, I always wanted to be like somehow like involved, you know, either drawing my favorite Dragon Ball Z character or drawing a Rey Mysterio mask, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I always wanted to draw, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't start taking it serious, I guess you can say, till high school when I saw that it was something I could potentially do, you know,
right,
officially. And that's when I did my first professional art gallery while still in high school. Like, and it was the biggest flop in my.
Oh no!
I mean, it wasn't a flop, but it wasn't, but it was, and I'll explain.
Okay.
So I was approached. Hey, we would like to have you in this group show. It's a whole bunch of artists from all over New York City. You know, we've seen your stuff. Let's bring it. And it's in Chelsea. You know, like so.
Yeah.
I knew that was like a big deal, but I didn't know anything about. So it's like, oh, well, you know, I'm in high school. I grew up poor, so $100 seemed like a lot of money for me.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
my painting, yeah, $100. I was by far the cheapest painting. Like there are people selling their shit for thousands of dollars, and there's this $100 canvas there.
Yeah.
But I was also 17 years old, and I didn't know any better. But the fact that that opportunity was presented to me, like, really like told me that this is something I can actually do for money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
I guess that's where the line was drawn between a hobby and an actual art career.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, from there, you know, that's where it all sort of started.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
graffiti happened.
Well, tell us as much as you want to or don't want to about
that you're legally able to.
that you're legally able to speak on with that.
I mean, I feel like at this point I can freely talk about it because
Statute of limitations,
it's
yeah.
I mean, we're talking over 10 years ago.
Yeah, statute of limitations is up on that, I'm sure.
So yeah, I I grew up in Brooklyn and
Yeah.
so I grew up in Clinton Hill, but I went to high school in Williamsburg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and at the time it wasn't gentrified like it is now.
Oh,
So
sure.
there was a lot of gang activity, definitely a lot of graffiti and drug use, everything, right? It's Brooklyn. And
yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm straight edge, so I never really had to think about like the drugs or anything, and I wasn't about the gang life either, right?
Right.
But I was the artistic kid in the hood. So obviously gravitating towards graffiti was super organic, right?
Yeah.
And I was introduced, I had a friend when I went to high school with him, like he used to write Zeno, rest in peace Zeno. He showed me his sketchbook and I opened it and it looked so fire to me. It's like all these colors, these words and all sorts, and the shit that you would see in the street just in a book. And it's like, yo, we can do this, like.
Yeah.
And me having already the interest in art, and I thought this shit is like the coolest thing ever. So I like nose dove into it.
Yeah.
All that's like, fancy artsy shit. I was like, fuck that, right?
Yeah.
I want to do graffiti. So
Yeah.
I started writing the word filth. That was my tag name for like about a week.
Okay. About a week. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I saw that it just wasn't, the letters was not working out for me. And that's when, since that day till today, my graffiti name has always been Nero3.
Nero, okay.
A lot of people think I write Nemesis, but no. But it is linked to the Nemesis name, and I'll get there, I guess. So I was, I started tagging up, all over Williamsburg.
Yeah.
Or places that a lot of my friends at the time, like, hey, there's this spot in this such and such place. Let's fucking do some shit. And let's fuck yeah, right? But I started seeing that, as fun as that part was, there was a lot of toxic in the graffiti scene. A lot of people think that graffiti is filled with young 20-something-year-olds, and it's not.
Yeah.
A lot of these graffiti artists are older dudes in their 40s who know what they're doing, and they target these younger guys. And, the bad influence, the violence, it's gang activity without the gangs, bro. Like, and it clearly was a scene that wasn't fit for me. Like being part of not the actual art of it, but the people involved.
Right.
It
Right.
just was, and we're vandalizing walls for free, with no real reward other than street cred.
Yeah.
And I guess that's when like my roots, like as an artist, because I'm an artist before I'm a graffiti artist, right?
Right.
That's kind of like when that, like those antennas, and it's like I can still do the art because the art is awesome and it's always going to be. So I was talking to you earlier before we went live, and I'm literally doing something right now. You know? But it's at the same time, the radar of common sense kicked in, and it's like something really bad's gonna happen to you. And I did get into a lot of like shitty situations. That, for the sake of time, because there's so many stories, right? But I did get into a lot of shitty situations where I just decided to just not be a part of. Like, I still keep in contact with a few of the good people that were in the scene.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I don't really associate myself a lot, which is why I feel that I can freely talk about it. I can show my face and I'm not worried,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I continued doing like my own thing, my black books, and I discovered that there was a scene where people were doing graffiti pieces, but like full pages, and they were doing battles with it. So it's like, and of course, this is like the peak. This is like not the peak. This is like the genesis of like Instagram.
Okay.
Like, and actually, this is before Instagram. This is when we were still using. What was the name of that website?
Was it
Flickr?
Yes, I was just So the
So we would do like a side by side, like my piece versus somebody else's piece, and then the followers or whatever of these like battle pages, they would vote, and not to pat my own back, but I was winning battles back to back.
You can pat yourself on the back for that. Yeah, of course.
You can do that.
The only reason I'm even bringing this up is because it's important.
Yeah.
Eventually people started, that's where the cred started coming in, and they were saying like, yo, if you can beat this kid, you can beat anybody. He's everyone's threat. He's everyone's nemesis. That word started floating around a little.
See that?
It's the nemesis, right? So I was like, fuck yeah, my head was a little big at the time, and I was like, I'm your nemesis, right? And my streak got destroyed. Like, when I mean destroyed, I mean like I had like out of like 30 to 40 votes, 2 of them were for me. I got destroyed by this one girl, and that's when I was like, all right, time to humble up, right? But at the same time, the name stuck. I like it, I related to a lot of things too, and it kind of became like, to use wrestling terms, a gimmick.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why, you go on my social media, Danny Nemesis, right? But the reason for that is the way I view it now is, keep up.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of those things where, because I feel that in wrestling, I've done a good amount of, I have a very good resume that not a lot of people know.
Right.
And so it's like, you could be good at your craft, but can you do it like me?
Right.
But it's more like a gimmick. I'm in real life, if anybody that approaches me, I'm super nice. I'm super humble, I promise.
No, definitely. Definitely.
And but it's like, it became almost like a gimmick just based on, and it's funny because I remember at the Fallout shelter, we had Santana guest coach.
Yes, Mike Santana.
And he said that his gimmick is him in real life cranked up to 100. That's his gimmick, and I feel like that's what I do. Where it's like, I know what I can do, but I'm usually very, very humble with it. I don't go around like, oh, I've done this and I've done that, like where a lot of people would do, but I don't believe in that, because what I like to do is help other people elevate. Like I don't do it for the clout. I don't do it for the recognition, right?
Yeah.
I do it because I love the shit.
Yeah.
Kind of the only motivation sometimes you need.
Yeah, true. And you've helped me, and we'll get to that, I'm sure. But all right. So I don't want to hog everything. V, do you want to jump in real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to let you have it, Mike. You can. I also host the show. No, I'm just kidding. No. So when did you fall in love with wrestling, particularly?
Oh man, as soon as I saw it, man. Okay, so unlike a lot of people here in the States, I actually saw Lucha Libre first before I saw the WWE.
Okay.
My dad being Mexican, right? He was a huge fan of kung fu movies and shit. He worshipped Bruce Lee. And he was flipping through channels one day. He was saying like out loud, mostly to himself because my dad's kind of, but he was like, I'm looking for, I really want to see somebody fucking each other up in like some kung fu movie.
Yeah.
Nothing was on at the time, and this like, I'm talking early 2000s. So he ended up in the Spanish channel called Galavisión, and if anybody knows what I'm talking about, they're probably smiling right now. That's where they had AAA or CMLL, and it was very early. And of course, me being a comic book nerd and Power Ranger fans and shit, seeing all these brawling dudes with all these colors and shit, all these masks, all these gimmicks, the entrance, the music, and the energy, that was drugs. So of course, I must have been 8, 9 at the most, and it was mind blowing. It's like, yo, these guys are like superheroes. It's not really, like I couldn't really, but my dad started like, oh yeah, this is lucha libre. Like this is, for us Mexicans, it's not much of entertainment. It's more culture than entertainment. So even if you're not a fan, it's Mexico surrounded by. It's a very rich culture in Mexico. And but then of course, like the little crackhead that had just developed, right? I wanted more, and then I realized, oh, there is a weekly show. Like, I didn't grow up with a lot of money at the time. We had SmackDown for free, right? That was it. We couldn't watch Raw because you needed cable to watch Raw,
right?
And so I started watching SmackDown, and that was it, and and we had a lot of relatable characters at the time. Like we had Eddie Guerrero, we had Rey Mysterio, we had the cruiserweight which were the smaller guys because I was always the smaller guy, and we had and then we had all these really different characters and these stories, the Attitude Era. I mean, the Ruthless Aggression era, in my opinion, my favorite era.
Okay, see, that might be controversial.
It
might
is,
be,
and I've gotten into countless arguments because everybody always reps the Attitude Era, which I get, and I'm not knocking the Attitude Era, but I feel just biased because that's what got me into it. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Then of course, once you start doing the history, you realize what the Attitude Era was, and you're like, oh shit, there was that. And but yeah, and that's when I knew wrestling. I mean, of course, as a little kid, you want to be a wrestler, right?
Yeah.
And as I got older and I realized that I can't throw a baseball, I'm like, maybe I'm not going to be a wrestler, but wrestling is something I do want to be a part of,
Yeah. Well, you got your chance to do that. So first of all, so you realized that you didn't want to, that you was not going to be a wrestler per se. How did your art background get you your opportunities within the wrestling world?
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. By luck, honest.
Yeah.
I remember at the time, when I first started discovering the indie scene in New York. This is already in my 20s, right? I went to a hog show.
Okay, House of Glory.
Of course, right? House of Glory.
Yeah.
Is like the only thing I knew was, here at least, that's not like when WWE would do a Madison Square Garden show, right?
Yeah.
It's local, and I had already had this interest in the indies. I knew Ring of Honor, I knew Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, I knew that. That was what I considered the indies at the time, just me not knowing much of the industry.
Did you ever get a chance to go to Ring of Honor, like back in the day?
No, I wish. I wish, but I did. I went the first time I went to Ring of Honor was in 2016.
Okay.
Which was a good time to be a Ring of Honor fan, right?
Yeah.
But that aside, House of Glory, I recognized Amazing Red because DNA Amazing Red. So I recognized some of the names that they brought. I honestly don't remember exactly who was in that specific show I went.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing a lot of the the younger talent.
Mhm.
I gravitated a lot more. Like, oh, this dude's really good or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, I really want to be a part of this. Maybe
Right.
not for them, but I want to do something where I can feel, and I feel like a lot of fans can relate to that. It's like, and you eventually learn this the more you are a part of it.
Mhm.
Fans like feeling included in the show.
Of course.
And I was definitely that person, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, man, the only thing I can do is draw. The fuck am I gonna do with that, right? Like, I don't do lights and music. I just know how to do art. And
Yeah.
that was just me thinking very black and white, right? But I was like, fuck it. And I did a fan poster. I still have it, actually.
You have it? Oh, I was about to say you have it.
It's right there.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
And
Look at that.
Wow.
it's autographed. And Red Dragon, Santana, Ortiz.
Nice.
The only person that didn't sign it was Cody Rhodes, and that's because I ran out of money.
These things happen.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember I did a fan poster. I did a few, actually. That's just one of them. And my goal was, to be a fan and get them all signed.
Yeah.
And I remember that that one person that really took notice, like that, Evander James.
Okay.
And I will always credit this dude for the genesis of my wrestling career, period.
Okay.
Evander James was like, yo, that's dope. I want to meet this dude. So I met up with him.
And Danny, what year was this? You remember?
I would say 17-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so we have like a timeline here.
Yeah. So yeah, we spoke, we exchanged social media.
Mhm.
And in one of these conversations, he's like, hey, how do you feel about designing, like not making, just doing the artwork for gear?
Right.
I was like, hell yeah, that's fucking awesome. I'm down, right? Like, I would love to, because in my head, it's that was automatically, that's my foot in the door.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm to this day, I love Evander James. He's the homie. Shout out to Evander James. You the man.
Mhm.
But I remember that gear, I designed it by hand. Like, I literally got like grid paper because I didn't know what I was doing. The first time I've ever done it. And I said yes because I wanted to know if I could do it. One, and two, because it's an opportunity that was given to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a satisfactory job, apparently, because he actually got the gear made.
Nice.
And then word just started spreading. I ended up doing Mantequilla's, the silver and yellow gear.
Okay.
I did that. I did a lot of work for Smiley. I did a lot of work for just a lot of people. It started snowballing until and I eventually found myself needing to start investing on like digital equipment to do like digital art, which I never did.
Yeah.
I'm a guy that I was used to getting my hands dirty, whether it was a spray can, paint, markers, whatever the case may be. Everything was super traditional. So I was at the time, I used to bash digital artwork. I was like, nah, fuck that. I did this shit myself, But then when I realized, there's a reason why people use digital, mediums. So I invested in, I remember it was like a shitty little Wacom tablet.
Yeah.
And that's how I started designing gear and logo. I eventually started doing merch designs for Santana and Ortiz. I did a lot of like their stuff that they use for Impact.
Nice.
And then that word of mouth, as per usual. I ended up designing gear for Homicide for a Bound for Glory show, which for me that was huge.
Yeah.
He got me backstage and everything, and it was awesome.
So are they contacting you directly, like Santana and Ortiz and all that? Like, they were DMing you,
DMing me and everything, and
nice.
It was, awesome. And then I got a call from. I'm just gonna say this vaguely, just to skim through
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah.
It was an upcoming promotion based in the Bronx.
Mhm.
That they wanted to start running shows. They did a total of 3 shows only, just due to reasons, right? That unfortunately the bad side of wrestling.
Mm.
But because I was a part of that promotion, I did shake a lot of hands.
Okay.
I used it more to network, really.
Mhm.
No money was made.
I know how that is. Trust me. Trust me.
It was a lot of. It was not the best experience. I definitely didn't meet the best group of people, but I
Yeah.
also met a lot of people that to this day I'm very good friends with. Like for example, Coltrane from #Dope. That's my
Mhm.
guy for life. To this day, we still do work together. He was the one that did the promo video when I created the original Nemesis Championship,
Okay.
and so we I met a lot of talent. I met a lot of guys that fast forward I work with now at Battleclub.
Yep.
But it was based because of that one specific promotion. Um, and then after that, I started working with other promotions here and there.
Mhm.
Some would last longer than others. Some I did more than others. And then I almost quit the wrestling business.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I used to work for a wrestling promotion. Shit went south, not south. I felt undervalued, I guess is a good way to put it, where I felt like I was treated like I should be happy to be there instead of being somebody, especially with the amount of work I was doing for them when they were first coming up.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was kind of sidelined, and that the typical "we'll call you when we need you," but then they'll never really call you.
Been there.
Yeah. So I was getting discouraged. The pandemic hit, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
I was like, I really should focus on my mental health, really, because I feel like the pandemic affected a lot of us negatively. I was definitely one of them, and I was like, I think I'm good. I did a lot of cool shit in wrestling. I designed a lot of cool stuff for a lot of cool people. I made a lot
Yeah.
of friends. I think I'm good. And
Yeah.
that was that, right? That was that.
Yeah.
I was happy to just be done. I mean,
Right.
I wasn't gonna do this whole like post. I think I'm done with wrestling. I was
Yeah.
gonna just go away. And then I get a DM,
Okay.
and that DM is from Mr. Joaquim Morales.
Yeah. My guy.
And the DM said, "Hey, we would like to work with you. We've heard great things about you. When can we set up the equivalent to a Zoom call, right?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "With such and such time," I forgot. I was just really happy because anyone that knows about anything about the wrestling industry in New York City,
Mhm.
Battleclub, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
So it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, of course, I would love to, right? And I can genuinely say, and I don't want to sound like I'm blowing smoke up his ass or anything because I work with the guy. Joaquim Morales has been the guy that's treated me like a professional the most in anybody in wrestling. And
Yeah.
I've worked with a good amount of promotions. I've worked with a good amount of people. He not only does he actually appreciate me as a human being, right?
Mhm.
Because there's people that they'll work with you to see what they can get from you.
Mhm.
Versus, hey, I actually like you as a human being, but you're also a professional artist who has produced a lot of things for a lot of people, not only in the wrestling scene, but on your own. Like, we've seen your stuff on social media. Apparently, I think somebody put a good word in for me, right? And he contacted me, and we had a good hour conversation
Mhm.
about who I am, what I've done, everything. And And then he told me, yeah, we're gonna do. These are the plans. This is the shows that are gonna transpire, and we're also planning in the future, like a few months actually, just so I can give you a little time frame. He goes like in 2-3 months from now, such and such date, we're gonna open a wrestling school called the Fallout Shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, lit, dude, let me know. Right? Like let's do it. And we worked, we spoke, Fallout Shelter opens, I show up, right?
Yeah.
And we had a total of 2 students.
Do you remember who those 2 students were?
Of course. One was this kid called Dilo. He no longer attends, even though there was no shade there. It's just life happens to everybody, right?
Yeah.
And one is our and shout out, because I love this kid to death, Bam Collins, aka KC Bambino.
Yes, Bam, my guy.
Love Bam. He's just one of my favorite people, like, period, but also as a student, he's great.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just, the environment was different in a good way.
Yeah.
Right. The appreciation, not just for myself, but like for everybody involved. Like, no one's there kind of just like there, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, like, and like you've been worked with Battleclub and stuff, and you can tell that you're not just treated as a person that should be happy to be there. Like, that seemed to be the case a lot with me. It was like, you're this guy, and this is, and if there's anybody that's given me the most opportunity, and again, we can get into that later, in wrestling, period, has been Joe with Battleclub.
Yeah.
And it's like, I like the stuff that I had done with wrestling. Before I was gonna call it quits, I thought I did it all that I could possibly do, and then I started working with Battleclub. And this year alone has probably been the most successful year in my wrestling career. Like, alone, right? Just starting with, the Nemesis Championship, and then being able to do commentary, which is something I always wanted to do because I always thought it'd be fun. And then and what I always liked about Joe is that I feel heard.
Definitely.
And because I am heard, I've been able to do the things I've done at Battleclub.
Yeah.
Which is, and not to throw shade at anyone, like, these are some of these ideas or ideas I've previously tried to present, and it was like, yeah, we'll talk, we'll figure it, and to go in one ear, come out the other. And everyone has their reasons for everything. I'm not saying not, but Joe actually, instead of Joe's like, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Which I always like, because I feel that I'm not just there as an accessory. I'm actually heard. I'm actually included. When we say that the Fallout Shelter is a family, it is indeed a family. We love each other. Like, I've gone to concerts, and like rock concerts with the students and shit. Like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm usually that solo guy that I tend to keep to myself, and to feel comfortable enough to go out of my super antisocial shell to hang out. These people, it goes to show the appreciation I have for these guys. So
it's funny that you consider yourself antisocial, because I never got that vibe from you. Like, anytime I've ever gone up to you, like, even when I didn't really know you, like, you've always been really kind. So it's like, it's
I guess they say I'm antisocial because I don't go out much. I go from work to home, and then sometimes from home to the Fallout Shelter. Yeah. That is it. Like, you won't really see me partying and stuff like that, or I don't. The most I do is go to rock shows and wrestling shows. That's the life of Danny Nemesis. I'm sorry if you guys were hoping it was more excited. I'm sorry to disappoint.
Very excited. Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Danny.
No, that was it. It was like, but yeah, that was my, I guess you can say, up till Battleclub story in wrestling.
Okay. All right, we're gonna continue on the Battleclub, but I'll let V get. I don't want to dominate this whole conversation.
Okay, so I have a fun question for you.
Yes.
So you did state that you were into comic books and things of that nature. So let's mix all of this together. if you if you were to be in a faction
Mm.
of at least 4 people, which comic book character or characters, excuse me, would be a part of your faction?
That's pretty
Does it
crazy.
have to be specific to a company, or can I just mix comic books all
It does
together?
not. It all together.
Oh shit, man. Okay.
And Danny, while you think about that, V, just you are a little laggy. Just want to let you know that. Just we heard you, we can hear you clearly, but the
Mm.
video's a little bit laggy. But yeah, go ahead, Danny.
How many people in this faction?
4.
4.
Yeah.
Myself included, or me and 4 others?
V didn't clarify.
I'll
I
say
think-
4 people, excluding myself. My favorite superhero, and I always get shit for it, but it's fine. My favorite superhero is the Green Lantern. This is a man that can create anything that comes to mind.
Which Green Lantern?
Okay, so my favorite Green Lantern is Kyle Rayner, and the reason for that is
Okay, fair
because he's a
answer.
comic book artist. So I relate.
Fair,
Alright, so
fair.
Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern, definitely has to be a part of my stable, hands down. You know, I can go on for that. The Crow, just because I love the
Mm.
Crow. I am also a huge Wolverine fan. He's not the most powerful, but he is pretty powerful. He's really strong. And last but not least, my favorite, besides the Green Lantern, my favorite comic book character of all time, Lobo.
Lobo.
Wow, really?
Yes, he's a metalhead. He's funny. He's a bounty hunter. He doesn't give a fuck. Lobo is the best comic book character ever. So Lobo, and if we're gonna make a wrestling faction, we need the guy with the worst attitude that gives the least fucks. Lobo.
I can't even hate that. That's a good ass lineup. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's a
Imagine
fun
the
one.
promos, bro. Like,
Oof.
you imagine the promos of freaking having Wolverine on one side and Lobo on the other, and I think they fought in a freaking
They did.
in a mix between DC and
Like a-
Marvel that they did in the 90s.
In a crossover.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
they
Wolverine
did.
won, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But the fact that if anybody that really digs into comics, if anyone that saw that fight knew that they would have beautiful chemistry in wrestling, they would have amazing chemistry in wrestling.
Oh, man.
Just entertainment. And if I were to have a 5th member, I know we were restricted to 4, but if I were to have a 5th member, Deadpool, because
Oh, Deadpool.
imagine Deadpool
Hilarious.
cutting a promo in wrestling.
That's chaos and negativity that I would want to see, honestly.
Yes, and we would be the competition. We would be their nemesis.
Ah.
Ah.
Oh man, that's dope. See, V is more of the comic book and superhero person, of this team. So
I love all that shit, man. Like,
you and V next time V's in New York is V's not in Nova Scotia. According to Abraham Khan, V lives in Nova Scotia. So V is not in Nova Scotia, but he's
I'm
also
not
not
in
over
Nova
here.
Khan and I have interesting history.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
What kind of history? Because we got some interesting history too, and it's all bad. But
you did not see the vandalizing promo that Abraham?
Yes.
Did you not see the person that took off that mask? I got a lot of heat from Joe because of that.
Wow.
You know, the vandal in me, unfortunately, I got the itch, but we made amends, Joe and I, after that, and my apology for said vandalism was the Battleweight Championship.
Okay, so let's get to it. Give us the background behind it, the idea behind it. How did you come up with the design? Tell us everything about the Nemesis Battleweight Championship and division also, right? It's a different division. So talk to us all about that.
So, and this is like the real story behind that.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the vandalizing.
Yeah.
So let's make that clear. Like I told you guys before, I always had a soft spot for cruiserweight wrestling. And it's not just like the WWE stuff. I was, me being a wrestling nerd, I was watching Super J-Cubs, the best of the Super Juniors. Like, I was eating the Super J-Cubs from like 95 and 96, the Jushin Ligers, the Super Delphins, the Tiger Masks, all of that. And going back to Lucha Libre, a lot of those guys have that cruiserweight style. So, and then here in the States, we had the X division in TNA.
Yep.
So the cruiserweight, lightweight, whatever weight you want to call it, whatever division you want to call it, that style of professional wrestling has always been my favorite style of pro wrestling. And I love all sorts of styles. I have an appreciation for everything in wrestling. But I have a soft spot for cruiserweights and lightweight.
Right.
Just because being a smaller guy, I am a firm believer of small guys can do big things. We can do cool things, and I may not be able to lift the heaviest weights, but I have painted murals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I remember we were at the Fallout shelter one night, and Joe said something along the lines of, man, I really like how we're progressing as a school. I kind of just wish that we had more of a female representation in our school. We don't really have enough female students. At the time, we probably had like 2, And, and then he says, you know what? I'm just going to speak it to existence, man. Like, we're going to have people inquiring about our school, more girls inquiring, trying to be pro wrestlers. And not long after that, we had the infamous Jordy Lee.
Yes, Jordy F. and Lee.
Sammy Chaos. And then we had, we just had more, female talent signing up to our school to train with us. And eventually, if you've gone to any Battleclub show or Fallout show, right?
Yeah.
And I just remember when that transpired, the thing that clicked to my head was he spoke that to existence, and Joe's also a guy that he likes to listen to good ideas.
Yeah.
And if they're good ideas, they're good ideas. And if they're not, he'll explain why it probably wouldn't work. He's always not only is he a good dude, he's also a very honest dude. And I appreciate
definitely
good constructive criticism when it's needed.
Yeah.
And I remember, like how we would call it, right? Shooting our shot.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked Joe, I was like, hey, Joe, do you remember when you said about, speaking things into existence? And like when you said about all the ladies signing up to our school and succeeding and everything, I kind of want to speak something to existence, and I would like for you to hear me out. He's like, yeah, sure. What's up? So that's when I presented, I want to have a cruiserweight division or a lightweight division or a division of, not the bigger guys, but like to highlight. But I was like, what I don't want to do is make it a division with the word divide, right?
Right.
Or it's like we're separating these guys and they only wrestle each other. It's more of highlighting the smaller guy. You know, and if anybody knows anything about Battleclub, we're very inclusive with every person, whether it's race or. And I was like, but what a lot of people don't like talking about is size, especially in wrestling. It's a very touchy subject, depending who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Like, oh, these smaller guys, they're not, because they're small, and it's like, no, I want to highlight that cruiserweight, lightweight, junior, whatever you want to call them. Those guys can wrestle. And if you go back in history and you think about it, Eddie Guerrero was considered a cruiserweight.
At one point, yeah.
Was considered a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
A lot of people used to say Shawn Michaels was a little guy compared to everyone else.
Which is crazy. Shawn Michaels was like 6 feet tall and 220 something, but
But then look at guys like Rey Mysterio. That Rey Mysterio almost didn't have a career just because he was 5'4".
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ultimo Dragon, the list goes on. A lot of these guys that back in the day, they were considered the cruiserweights or the lightweights, and they grew up to be stars, right?
Yeah.
And it's based on their ability to be able to do this fucking art that we love so much. Wonderfully. better than a lot of the bigger guys.
Yeah.
That's a fact that nobody can take away from it, right? And I told Joe I would like to do this, right? And fuck it, let's call it the Nemesis division,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And Joe was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I was like, oh shit, did he just say okay? And I was like, oh fuck. So I remember going home and thinking to myself, all right, this opportunity was just presented to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I to a certain extent, I just got a green light. If I'm gonna get this opportunity, I need to do 1,000%, right?
Yeah.
Not just, all right, cool, I have a division now, right? Like, it's like, no, we need a. So next day I pulled out my tablet because now I use Procreate because of course this is more modern day. This happened legit this year or late last year, early this year. Some that time frame. I'm a little. It's the end of the day.
No, yeah, I know it's late here on the East Coast.
I just remember pulling out my tablet and designing the Nemesis Championship, the early version of it, right? And presenting this idea to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joe was like, hey, I want to, Nemesis, it's your brand. And he goes, I'm not trying to take anything away from you. I actually want you to put your logo. If you guys look at the Nemesis Battleweight, it has my logo on it.
Yep, we'll actually pull it up. Yep.
And he goes, but how does Battleweight division sound? I was like, that shit sounds sexy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Battleweight? Like, yo, you're going into battle, like you're talking to the nerdy kid that grew up watching Power Rangers and shit. Like, hell yeah, the Battleweight division. He goes, yes, it's gonna be the Nemesis Battleweight Championship. So next day, revising, found the most metal font I can find, right? And yeah, Battleweight, everything. And we spoke. The top one is the original Nemesis Championship. That's my personal one.
Mm-hmm.
And the bottom one is Battleweight Championship for Battleclub Pro.
Awesome.
Which,
awesome.
in my opinion, to this day is my best accomplishment, not only in my wrestling career, in my artistic career, ever. I genuinely cannot think of any piece of artwork that I am responsible for that can top that. And I've done some really cool shit, like,
yeah.
And it's like, but for me, I remember the day that I was asked to present this championship in front of the crowd. One, I froze. Because
this was at Jobber Slam, I believe.
Yes.
We have a story about Jobber Slam, but yeah, go ahead, continue.
So I remember getting in the ring. When I was home, man, I had a whole speech.
Yeah.
A whole fucking valedictorian graduation speech that I was going to give about this.
Yeah.
When I was there, it hit me, and it was like, it's real now.
Yeah.
Like, this is happening. This is what 12-year-old Danny would have loved to see, right?
Yeah.
So my mind naturally went blank. And I just remember saying, like, this is a surreal moment, but I ain't gonna waste anybody's time. In reality, what I was trying to say is, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the moment right there. And
I
remember giving the briefcase to Bam, opening it, and raising that championship. And that moment, man, like, that was awesome. Like,
yeah.
For lack of a better word, it was just like a feeling of accomplishment where, just me with my, like, growing up, not really having the best self-esteem or having a lot of, like, I had a lot of, like, I do have, like, a history with depression and everything. And so my wins are very important to me.
Of course.
Sometimes I have a very hard time celebrating my own wins. But that moment right there was literally everything, man. Like, it was like I did something that, in my opinion, held so much weight, and we haven't even started it. Like, yeah, we've had great matches. Shout out to Coach Colossal Mike Law.
Yep. The first ever Battleweight champion.
First ever. And I remember him telling me, like, yo, we're gonna put some prestige on this shit. Like, this championship is gonna hold the weight. And I was like, yeah. But it's like, I remember I forgot who I was telling this to. I was like, all right, this was awesome. But this can't be the best thing that happened with this. I need to do bigger. So this is the part where I don't spoil anything anymore.
Yeah.
The plans that I have for the Battleweight division and championship, I have a very specific vision that I would one day like to accomplish. Just keep raising the bar and what, as far as my creativity goes. There's a lesson I've learned with that whole experience is that just when you think that you've done it all or that you've given it your all, there's always something better you can do. And how far can I push that envelope? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's really where I'm going with that. And it's like, what's next, right? What's next? And it's like, there's anything that I can, say I'm good at is creating.
Yes.
And then definitely. I remember when Evander James and Mantequilla first created their gears that I designed, that when I first saw it in the ring, it was like, oh shit, that's sick, man. You know what I mean? Like, that is awesome. Yeah. And I didn't think it could have gotten better than that. And then I showed you earlier, I made stickers of that belt. I am in love with this championship, man. Like, I am, like, it is such a meaningful championship to me as a person, as a creator, as a designer, as a artist, so whatever title I can give myself or whatever. It is so meaningful to me that it showed me a lesson. Like, yo, we can do some really cool shit, man.
Yeah.
If once presented the opportunity, this goes to anyone that creates anything, it's music, podcast, whatever, anyone that's not inside a professional wrestling ring, because that's a different world.
Yeah.
Anyone that has a talent that they feel that they can potentially use in any way, fuck it, yeah, go for it. Because I would have never thought when I made that first fan sign that I was going to be standing in front of a wrestling ring presenting an actual championship that's going to be defended. It's not some belt that a fan brings to get autographed or anything. No, this is a belt that we're going to contest.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of, like, those classic matches, wow, what a fucking banger. And that's what I wanted. I've always wanted the Battleweight championship to have, is to give you those classics.
Definitely.
I know Battleclub it never disappoints with its card.
No, ever.
It never does. But I want people to be like, yeah, that show was lit, but yo,
the Battleweight
match.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, like, people go to like back in the day, they would be like, yeah, the main event was lit, Hogan versus whomever. But yo, did you see those cruiserweights in the pre-show though? The cruiserweights was fun.
Yeah.
And I feel that, as a fan, I remember going home talking to my best friend, like, because my best friend and we grew up together watching wrestling. That was like, he's the polar opposite of me. Shout out to Jonathan. Polar opposite to me.
Jonathan.
But the guy that, the thing that always kept us best friends till this day is our love for professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And we always, those cruiserweights, man.
Yeah.
I remember I was a huge Paul London fan when I was a kid.
Paul London was
he
dope.
won that title, that cruiserweight championship.
Yeah.
And it was those cruiserweight moments. Like, we can have that conversation, forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And so that was the vision, and that's how that was done. And and as awesome as the ride has been, we're far from done, which is what makes everything so much more worth it.
Yeah.
To just be a part of, to just see transpire, and not only just knowing that I had a hand there, and this is something that I've always wanted to do, and that I would, when you finally see it come to fruition, it's the best. Like
Wow.
there's no word for it, really. Like it's just awesome.
Yeah, and just congratulations
No,
on
thank you.
all of your success that you've had. I mean,
Yeah.
and all the success that you're going to have. Look,
I wish, I hope.
we could spend hours talking to you, but it is
Yes,
late.
sir.
We got to get you back on. I don't know if well, promote anything that you have to promote. I don't know if you wanted to ask something really quickly before.
No, I'm gonna. It's getting
Yeah,
late.
we gotta get Danny.
I do have work in the AM, but
yes,
just follow my social media. Like Instagram is where I put the majority of my content out. My artwork.
Scroll your page as you're talking. We'll multitask here. But yeah, this is some of Danny's work. I actually have this sticker right in the middle. This one right here. Actually, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but I actually have that one. So
I usually have stickers during shows. If you guys see me at a show, inquire. I will have sticker packs, loose stickers, whatever you guys, or hit me up. I'm always available to answer.
Look at this one of Steve Pena here. Wow.
Yeah, that's a actual trading card I drew for Steve Pena. He actually gave it to him in the sleeve.
It's awesome, dude.
Steve Pena, again, shout out to Steve Pena. He's not only is he like super talented as a professional wrestler, he's one of the most amazing human beings that I've bumped heads with. It's always a great conversation with him. I love the guy to death.
Definitely.
But yeah, I have a merch shop that the link's in my bio. If you guys want to get, that's one of the shirts that's there. I have, just a whole bunch of merch. My brand is Forever Nemesis. The logo's kind of everywhere, but like it's there, but it's not all, like not everywhere. Also, not
Definitely.
yet.
Well,
but thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you guys so much. Like, you guys are awesome.
Let me get this real quick. Ask him in his mind. Hold on. So DJ Knuckles has one question. Do you think Ray versus Eddie at Halloween Havoc is the greatest cruiserweight match ever? He actually is in the chat as you leave. We actually will put on Knuckles here. This was DJ Knuckles' question, everybody.
Yo, okay. So the greatest cruiserweight match? I wouldn't say that, but it's definitely always going to be a part of the conversation, man. I feel I've seen a lot of wrestlers say that match is what got them into professional wrestling, which again goes to show the power of cruiserweight wrestling, right?
Yes.
So, but that match I've seen it at least 1,000 times because it is an amazing match. It is a match that has put not only the division or the weight class, but the sport on the map. Like to this day, we can watch and again for like 1 billion times and still be in awe. Like I've seen the match 1,000 times, and if I were to pull up that match right now, I'll be like, "Oh hell yeah, that was fucking dope!" Like I didn't see it 1,000 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is. I would say it's in the conversation always when it comes to cruiserweight professional wrestling. I wouldn't call it the best because there's just so many matches. Like we can talk about the WCW days. We can talk about the ECW cruiserweight stuff, like Rey Mysterio versus Psychosis, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can talk like the whole library of CMLL, whole library of AAA. The stuff that TNA was doing, man, like those X Division matches. Like, can we call a specific match the best match? Probably not. But Ray versus Eddie and Halloween Havoc is always going to be in the conversation, no matter what.
Definitely.
Like,
Danny, thank you again for joining us. We're going to get you out of here. Have a great night. At Danny, your Nemesis on Instagram to see all of his work and inquire about the merch. Danny, thank you again, sir. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Danny Nemesis, everybody. Wow. What a guess. Danny, you can log out whenever you
I'm trying to figure that one out.
It's the red button. It's the red button. All right.
We're live, pal.
We are live, pal. Danny Nemesis. Wow. Look, literally could talk to him for hours. Like that's. I don't see the thing is crazy because like for me, like it's been really cool to meet a lot of different people in the wrestling industry. No lie, Danny is literally, if not the coolest, one of the coolest people I've ever met. Like we can literally, I'll talk to Danny for hours at a show. Like literally, they have to literally tell us like, "Hey guys, the show's about to start." You guys, like because Danny has so much knowledge of the business, and not just from being in it, but just as a fan. That like it's literally two fans just linking up and talking. That's why it's like it's like talking to my friend. So thank you again, Danny, for being on the show. I will see you soon, sir. We didn't even get into the fact that Danny got me through my first timekeeping gig, but it was going on like an hour, so I didn't want to like hold him too long. But yeah, Danny actually helped me because Joe Kim, I might have told it on the show. I know I told it to you guys like privately, but I might have told it on the show.
I was there.
Yes, V was there.
I was there.
So no, not at Seek Shelter. He was at Jobber Slam. So Danny was the timekeeper at Jobber Slam, but at Seek Shelter, that was just a student show. I was the timekeeper.
Oh,
and Danny literally got me through being the timekeeper. So I was the timekeeper, I was the music engineer, I was all that in one, like because Danny was on commentary. So which we didn't even get into his commentary. There's so much to talk to Danny Nemesis about, and like I said, he was on here for an hour, and there was still so many different things that we didn't get to touch because he's such. He says that he's not that interesting of a person. He's one of the most interesting people I know. Like, so, yeah. But anyway, DJ Knuckles in the building. What's up?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Pal.
Hey pal,
We
we're
got some things to talk about.
We do have
A couple of things to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to get into this Halloween Havoc show that happened Saturday. So
I'm here. I'm ready. It's time to have the conversation.
Yeah, it is time to have the conversation. I think this is actually a pretty difficult conversation to have. But we're gonna have it. We're gonna have the difficult. This is what we do at Go for the Pin. We have the difficult conversations. Yeah. We don't. But we're gonna. We don't. I stay far away from those difficult conversations.
Yeah.
I'm like, absolutely not. Too many connections in the wrestling business now. I am not having those conversations. No. B, you can't make me. All right, so you can't make me. We're not doing it. All the girls,
you can't make me. Just rolling.
Okay.
They are scrapping.
I think they are. Over this list. I think they are over comments made on podcasts. I think the girls are just at each other's throats.
The girls are fighting. It's about to be a what? Like
girl fight. Oh. Did you just bring it back to Brooke Valentine?
Is she still with us?
Brooke Valentine. Yeah, she is. Brooke Valentine reference here on Go for the Pin.
That's great. Amen. Good God.
Wow.
So, yeah, the girls are fighting about this list.
We'll get to it. Okay. Let's get to Halloween Havoc because we gotta. All right. So the Halloween Havoc pay-per-view or PLE opened with the ladder match for the vacant NXT North American Championship. Wesley defeats Carmelo Hayes, Mensa, Von Wagner, and Nathan Frazier. What do we think about this match? And Knuckles, how did we do? I think I know already, but that's Knuckles. That's Knuckles about that, so we'll let him talk about it.
So how I felt about the match? It was actually pretty good. I was enjoying said match. I'm happy with the result.
I bet you are.
I am, and
because you picked them.
I did. I don't know. I can't.
We'll
I
go to
could barely
Knuckles.
remember. Yes,
We'll go to Knuckles.
barely remember that. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. It was really fun. I'm glad Wesley won. And the end.
Yeah, I thought the match was cool. I enjoyed it. Some nice spots in the match. You know, they overdo this ladder match thing with the North American Championship. So,
Yes.
that's one thing. But yeah, it was cool. Wesley winning. I'm not upset. I was upset I got it wrong, but I'm not upset he won. I'm happy for the kid. But yeah, that's it. Knuckles.
I thought it was very entertaining, and I thought that
Oh, you was entertained.
yeah, I was entertained.
Entertained.
I was entertained. Entertained. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you guys are entertained.
Yeah, we are very much entertained. That's
I don't have any.
Oh, I have plenty.
I
Yeah,
thought it was
again.
iced tea from the Chinese restaurant. But yeah, go ahead.
It's homecoming weekend. We'll get there.
But yeah,
Howard?
Howard,
Howard? All right, now go ahead, continue.
A&T, right?
No, I know he went to school at.
Oh.
Yeah. I know exactly who he went to school at.
This is my HBCU.
As I sip from my soda that I'm sure somebody's spitting.
I heard. Wow.
But yeah, as far as results are concerned,
Yeah.
King V is on the money with Wes Lee. That is correct.
Yeah. At this point, I was sweating. I ain't gonna lie. I knew. But you know what, Knuckles? You know what, Knuckles? I knew I needed one match. I knew I needed one match in order to stay in this thing.
My guy
We'll
was
find
sweating.
out. I was sweating when Wesley. I said, "Oh God." I said, "Oh God."
Yeah,
I said, "Oh, no."
You had a monkey piss down the leg situation.
No, easy, big fella.
Easy, big fella.
Easy, big fella.
Avert your eyes, Lillian. Sorry.
It's great.
Yeah, it really was. It was great.
Lillian,
But yes.
what's that? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Lillian, are you looking at the people's
Yeah.
strudel?
Lillian said, "Oh my God, I love the people's strudels."
Yeah.
Lillian, what the blue hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we went. Me and you, Mike, we went with the popular vote.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
we were wrong, obviously.
We did the job. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you know who else did the job? Grayson Waller. In this next match, Apollo Crews defeats Grayson Waller. In a spill that will make the dip.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Whew. I wasn't ready. Sorry, I'm back.
Okay. I thought this match was fine. It was cool. Apollo Crews won.
I thought it was terrible.
You Why did you think it was terrible?
We'll get there.
We're there. We're there.
No, V. What did you think about the match? I'm not doing this with you, Mike. I'm not.
So I couldn't. I tried to care.
Okay.
Just like Macy Gray, I walked away and I stumbled.
Oh wow.
And that's only because I was on shot 8 of tequila, but that's the point. Yeah, I didn't really care. Like, I'm glad Apollo's back in NXT because he's doing something.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, what's the end game? How are we, where are we going with this? We need a little bit more traction.
Okay.
But it was cool.
Knuckles?
It was alright. I don't like the them destroying the first casket and then bringing out another one.
Oh yeah. So what is Apollo, the Undertaker now?
Oh boy. That's like trying to fit
about?
That's like trying to fit a size 7 in a size 12. It ain't happening. Man, it was okay. This is one of the matches that I really didn't care about. Hence my pick. But it was okay.
Who was your pick?
Oh
Oh my
Dolph
Yes.
Ziggler.
god! No, you did not. I know who you picked.
I'm here to show the world. Shut up.
I bet you are.
Why do I even come on this show?
Because
do
you
I-
love us. That's why, and we love you. So
That-
let's just continue.
That's beside the point. Keep with the gimmick, brother. I picked Waller because I'm an idiot. But
I tried to talk you out of it last week. but
you really did. And you know what? Like I said last week, the premonition of me not doing prediction shows anymore is starting to come back. I am just having the worst luck. I am like big bucks, no whammies, stop. No, it's not working out.
But Knuckles, look, if this is booked anyway, if it is booked similar to how they book Money in the Bank winners, you're gonna have a big win soon. Because you're going on a losing streak, so you're gonna have a big win soon. So I would stay in it.
Is it gonna take me 3 months?
Maybe 6. But it's fine. It's okay.
Monday night,
11
Friday night,
years.
Monday night, L. Monday night, L. Monday night, L. Monday night, L. I see a trend coming in. Monday night, L.
How did we do?
You know how you did. Moving.
All right, let's just continue. Okay.
I'm sensing a heel turn, Mike. I'm thinking this is not what you want right now. I see what you're trying to do out here. But
Do you?
yes, I do.
All right. Well, okay. And I also saw what happened in the Roxanne match. So we had Roxy defeating Cora Jade by pinfall in a Weapons Wild match. They went out there and killed it. I thought that I thought I thoroughly enjoyed the match. It seems like V disagrees, but I enjoyed the match. I thought that that spot from the platform through the table was really dangerous because they missed the first table that they was actually supposed to go through, and they went through the real table, which was dangerous. Cold rocks or rocks pop or whatever she's calling it onto the chairs was also
Pop rocks.
Pop rocks?
It's a code red, guys. Okay, it's a code red. But pop rocks, paparazzi. I don't know whatever she's calling
paparazzi. Well played.
Whatever she's calling it, she hit it on Cora. Roxy wins this match. B, you seem to disagree with how you feel about this match. Please take it away.
So
Train. People all over the world.
Dios mío. Okay. I don't want everybody to go to hell. Like right now. Like right now. Oh God. Where's you know what? Let me conjure up some damn chaos magic. I'm sick of y'all niggas.
Oh wow. Whoa.
Not conjure.
Wow.
Oh, summon them. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I really didn't like the match. It was a lot happening, but a lot that was happening wasn't fun for me. I don't know. It was like, is this the end? Is it? Because they both could have put on a better match to me, because I like them both.
Wow.
But it could have been a lot better. Honestly, sorry. Yeah.
All right, Knuckles.
I thought it was a very physical yet entertaining match.
Yeah.
I do see where V is coming from. I do see his point very clearly that I think the what's the word I'm looking for? I think it could have been better, like he said. I think the presentation could have been better. There could have been things that were done in that match that could have been executed better. Like you said, the table spot. But overall, and seeing the rivalry and the story that goes along with these two characters, I think it was good. I like the physicality of the match. And first and foremost, the right person won. And I think we need to go ahead and put a rocket to her back and put her where she should have been 3 months ago.
Yeah.
But all in all, long story short, I thought it was a good match.
Okay. How did we do on that?
We all passed the IQ test and got the right answer.
Okay. All right. Next we had, so I tried to care about this match. I really did, but I just don't. We had Julius Creed defeating Damon Kemp, excuse me, in an ambulance match. Had Julius lost, Brutus Creed would have had to leave NXT. I thought it was fine. I didn't hate the match. I enjoyed it for what it was, but like I just wasn't invested. But it was cool. You know, it was cool.
I agree. And I wasn't expecting, I don't know, some kind of cult classic, but it was cool.
Yeah. Knuckles?
Yeah, I think so. Here's my problem with this match. I was never a fan, as long as I've been watching wrestling, I've never been a fan of a loser leaves match. Never been a fan of it. Because if you pay attention, like in this case, let's be honest, between the three of us, is Brutus Creed ready to go to the main roster?
No.
That's exactly why he wasn't losing this match.
Right.
So plus, that took the whole thing out of it. I could understand if he was on a level of Carmelo Hayes, and I'm very careful when I say the level of, because all of them are talented. I use that term very loosely. But if he was at a status of a Carmelo Hayes or a Legado del Fantasma, see, they've moved up already. But he's not ready to move up. So I knew he wasn't going to lose the match. So that was part of my prediction. I'm like, man, there's no way Creed loses this match because he's got a lot of work still to do in NXT. But the match in itself, it's a match.
All right, how do we do on it?
We all pick Creed.
Okay. Now, this is the match that I knew I had to get because I'm like, fucking Wesley. So we had Mandy Rose versus Alba Fire. The match started somewhere in a secluded area in the back, right? Not in the back. It was like in the woods. So I don't know. It was at like a haunted house or something, which was entertaining. It's Halloween. It was cool.
Entertaining.
It was entertaining. Alba Fire kidnapped Mandy. And Alba Fire kidnapped Mandy and brought her back to the arena, and then we actually had the match in the ring, which I suspected. Of course, Toxic Attraction got involved. And still, your NXT Women's Champion, stop going against Mandy Rose. I'm begging you, people.
Listen.
Mandy Rose. Like, how many times does this girl have to win for people to stop betting against her, V? I tried to say this last week. Give me a second. I tried to cut a promo. Give me a second. I tried to tell everybody last week. Okay, I've told people the last pay-per-view, stop voting or betting against Mandy Rose. She does not lose championship matches. You guys tried to tell me that she was going to lose the unification match. She didn't lose that. You guys tried to tell me that who's gonna beat her? Roxy was gonna beat her. She didn't beat her. Y'all tried to tell me that everybody that you can name, y'all tried to tell me that Mandy was doing the job. Mandy is now one of the longest reigning champions in NXT history. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that. V.
You know, the amount of milligrams running through my screen. I'm looking for a spot to care about how you feel about Mandisha.
Now,
I was wrong.
The dynamite. All right. Well,
I was wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong.
It's okay. ...
I was wrong.
It's okay.
However, comma space. She's still losing the next one.
Oh, here we go. Knuckles, what did you think about what did you think about this match? And how do we do? I think we know how we did actually, but
nigga, shut the fuck up.
You mad, bro?
Oh man. Speaking of spots, not your spot, not my spot, not dog spot, not liver spot, not sorry.
Dalmatian spot? Okay, go ahead.
WCW reference, look it up.
That's an obscure one because I don't know that one.
The Horseman, NWO?
Missed that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch.
Yeah, go back and look. Arn Anderson, Kevin Nash beef. Go look at that. Go look at that.
That's a WWE fan. But yeah, go ahead, continue.
It's championship titles, pal. Anyway, I was with you. I was with you, Mike, because me and V for a long time, and I will agree with V. Me and V thought that it was been time for Mandy to get called up.
I still
and
that way.
And that is why I bet against her so many times, because I thought it was her time. But after 7 straight losing predictions,
17 actually.
Whatever.
7. Here we go.
7, 17, 77. Mandy for the win.
Right.
Shout out to Shannon Sharp.
Listen, there's not much certain in life. Texas and Mandy goes over in championship matches. But yeah, go ahead.
That's true. Yeah, and that's why I picked her. I wasn't going to make that mistake again.
I know.
Even though Hart said Alba Fire, because smart money is good money, and I picked Mandy.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, V. All right. So the main event. Well,
not the run.
We had an in ring, guys. We had an in ring with.
Okay.
I'm no selling it. We had an in ring with Shotzi. It's not on my results here. I do remember there was an in ring with Shotzi and Quincy.
With Quincy
and Lash Legend, yes. Right. V, would you like to talk about this segment?
I just want to address a certain commentator.
Oh God, here we go.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna do it. Okay. I just want to acknowledge to Sir Booker.
So Booker,
a lot of people can peep the passive aggressive homophobia in your voice every time you see Quincy.
Uh-oh.
And yeah. Just like an elephant, I don't forget.
Oh boy. Oh wow. Water?
Yeah, because it's obvious at this point now. But I don't expect much from Booker T when it comes to black talent he didn't train.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay, in the main event, we had Braun Breaker defeating Ilya Dragunov and JD McDonough. I think we all got this right. Now, I know you guys thought that there would be a chance that Austin Theory showed up. I knew it was just a red herring. I'm like, if he was going to show up, they wouldn't have done that thing last week on NXT that they did at the end of the show. So I'm like,
that made him showing up pointless.
Pretty much. It was just it was
Pretty
a
much.
swerve, pal. It's just to make people think that all right, maybe he'll show up at the end of the show. But I'm like, he's not going to if they just did this on NXT. If he was going to show up, they wouldn't have did it.
It's an awesome God he reigns
Huh?
from heaven above with us. Oh, I was just praising the Lord for the fact that I didn't have to see someone who shouldn't be around people under the age of 18. Halloween happened.
Oh man. Okay. So with that prediction, I think we have an interesting result here, but Knuckles, can you please tell us what the official results are of this prediction show?
Well, the official results are as follows. Knuckles left the building after the fourth match. Yeah, he tapped out. But you all right, V?
It's interesting. Yeah. Say
This is interesting. With 5-1 records apiece.
Yeah.
That would declare the prediction a draw, which means, unfortunately,
what happens in it? No. You know the rules. Say the rules. You know the rules. If there's a draw, what does that mean, Knuckles? Tell the people at home.
oh boy.
This nigga gets on my fucking bed.
Shit. Let me look in the handbook real
You
quick.
say the
see if I
goddamn
can-
rules, Knuckles. So we're all waiting.
See if I can find the rules.
We're all
here.
waiting.
Okay.
Read the fine print. You like reading fine print.
I don't like reading nothing. Yeah. Rule 17, paragraph A,
-2.
-2. Predictions championship cannot change hands on a draw. So
Therefore,
Crown Jewel.
what the hell? No, time out. Flag on the play.
Why did you just hit the D-Lo? Why did you do that? Okay, Mike.
Look, we're real deal now.
Okay, Mike. On a technicality, you're still the champ.
Woo!
You are really giving me Chris Jericho Cruiserweight title 98 vibes, and I don't like it.
Well, I have 104 moves that can take care of all of that. All right, Knuckles? Yes, you heard it here. And still, your prediction champion. I'm on a roll in my career. I just want to thank you guys. You know,
If you don't shut the hell up.
I want to thank you guys for doing the job. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Girl, fuck you.
oh my
And for
goodness.
putting me over, I appreciate you guys. I couldn't do it without you. So let's move on here.
V, I'm sick of this nigga.
Well, I gotta be all that.
I am T.I. Red. I'm
T.I.
tired.
Red.
Look,
I'm tired with bleach.
Okay. All right.
I'm leaving it alone.
Okay. Listen. We will settle all of this with the Crown Jewel predictions that we're doing next week. Is Crown Jewel next week?
Oh, Crown Jewel is Saturday.
It's this Saturday?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think Friday's the go home show, right?
Wait,
Really?
Blood Money's this weekend?
Oh, crap.
I think so.
Y'all sure?
No, let's do our Googles. Yeah, we're live, pal.
We are live.
Okay. Blood Money. Let me actually Crown Jewel.
Bon G wants a Knuckles versus Mike match with King V as the referee. I'm retired, pal.
Joe.
November. It is in November. Yes, Crown Jewel is in November, so it's not this weekend.
Okay, it's November, yeah.
Oh, it's next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So next
Yes.
week we'll be doing the predictions for Crown Jewel. And we'll see how that goes. You know, my luck is at
Yeah.
the very No, that's what I'm telling you. I was sweat after the Wesley match. I said, "Oh God, I gotta get Mandy." That was the only thing I said. I was like, "I gotta get Mandy." That you're here.
Why is this happening?
What did y'all think of Halloween Havoc though as a whole? What do we give this show as we move on? Yeah. V.
I didn't like it overall.
You said you didn't like it?
I didn't.
Oh wow.
I think this is a first in Go for the Pin history.
Ooh.
That I didn't like an NXT pay-per-view.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 1 count.
Wow.
And that's solely off of Wesley's win.
Wow.
Wow.
I did not enjoy it.
Okay, I enjoyed it much more than V. I'm gonna give it a 2 count.
Yeah.
Knuckles?
Yeah, I give it a 2. Yeah, I give it a 2 count as well.
Yeah. The wrestling on NXT is always gonna be good, so I'm not. That's why I'm not as critical as V is here. And I mean, yeah, it was kind of predictable, hence the 5-1. But it's like sometimes being predictable.
He just had to slide that in there.
You got 5-1.
So yeah, I'm about to say you got 5-1 too. It's a technicality that he's still the champ.
Let's keep going. Well, something's for damn sure. You didn't win, Knuckles. All right. So how about that? Technicality. Yeah, I said it, pal. Yeah, I said it, pal. All right. Technicality that. All right. Let's go. Love you, Knuckles. Let's keep...
Don't butter me out now, country crock. I ain't trying to hear it.
Listen. I'll set up a meeting with Veer. We'll take care of all of this. All right. So, are we gonna talk about Raw? Are we gonna? Are we gonna talk about Raw? Are we just gonna give Roy? Well, all right. It closed with Bailey and Bianca, and it had Nikki Cross's okay, so all right.
And the dolls were mad. Oh God. Okay. So with Nikki Cross going back to her Sanity character or some type of updated version of her Sanity character.
Mm-hmm.
For the fact that Bailey and Bianca got time and everybody was expecting, not me, because I know better.
Yeah.
But everybody was expecting a Charlotte return or
they were in Charlotte.
Sasha, yeah, they were. Sasha and Naomi. While they're over there going to Black Panther premieres,
I'll tell you,
single solitary fuck.
Right.
Okay. No, but watching the timeline explode, that it was just Nikki Cross. It was like one of those things. It's like, you really expected that they were going to come back on a regular Monday Night Raw. No shade. But
I think we all know when they're coming back.
I don't know. That's none of my business. But I will say for it to be Nikki Cross, I don't want to say disappointing. This sounds bad. Out of anyone that it could have been, Nikki Cross wasn't at the top of my list.
Right.
She wasn't top 5.
Right.
There
top 5.
She was top 10.
Yeah.
So, I get people's disappointment. I understand people's disappointment. Because,
it was Nikki Cross. Let's be honest, because it was Nikki Cross.
I'm not saying that.
You're not going to say it. I'll say it because it was Nikki Cross.
I'm not saying it. I like Nikki Cross. I'm just saying I'm just saying that I understand your frustration. I understand how you feel. I empathize with you. But Sasha and Naomi are not coming back anytime soon.
Nope.
And if we do know, or if they do know, we'll never find out until
Right.
they come back. So
I think I have a hunch that I know, but I mean, I think I do know, but let me just say that Sasha and Naomi are living their best life right now, and if they don't come back, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
at this point,
I don't blame them at all. And Sasha's looking, whew,
Mm.
okay, all right. Yeah.
So okay.
Water.
I need some actually. All right,
y'all
so
a little thirsty over
and that
there.
was all right. Relax. And that was Monday Night Raw, pretty much. Like that was Raw. That's all I remember.
Don't you think?
Honestly.
Do you think Nikki Cross's turn would have been better if she turned on Dewdrop, or is that just me?
Nah, I don't think people would have cared if she turned on Dewdrop.
Yeah, I don't think people would have.
Because Dewdrop was the one that was trying to get her back to that character.
Cold shower knuckles.
King.
LeBron
Won't help.
yeah.
Gross. So yeah.
Gross.
No, I don't think people would have cared regardless. And I'm not gonna say because it's Nikki Cross, because Nikki Cross turned that superhero gimmick into whatever it was.
What was it?
What was it? I don't know.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
But she turned something into something that worked until it didn't anymore. A lot of people prefer. No. No. No, but
beer doesn't come raw anymore.
Oh my
raw.
God! Oh,
oops.
I hate everybody involved.
Freudian slip. He doesn't come raw, Mike. Really?
It doesn't come raw anymore.
Y'all going to hell.
Oh, two raw. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Everybody, relax. You gotta relax. But yeah, I think people don't care about Nikki Cross.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Which sucks because I like her. She's talented.
She is.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. I was intrigued for about 12 seconds until I figured out who it was. I ain't know who the hell that was jumping off the top rope. I was like, who the fuck? I was like, who the hell is that? All you saw was the camera pan, and she was like,
yeah.
I was like, what the hell just happened? Like, yeah, and then I found out who it was. I was like, yeah.
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 He's back to talking to you. All right. That's why it should have been beer, because he doesn't come to Raw anymore. Yeah.
Everybody involved.
All right.
To go to prison.
Let's see. Not prison. Incarceration.
Oh man. We locked up. All right.
We'll let you out.
Ah, there it is.
There goes me being an abolitionist. Like,
won't let me out. Beer let it out. All right, so let's go.
This is the part of the show.
Danny, I'm sorry. Danny's gonna text me in the morning. Yeah, take my part out.
Oh
Lord! Be a part of this nonsense. This is gonna text from Joe.
This is the part of the show where we. Is this the part of the show where we break for the erectile dysfunction commercial?
All right, this isn't a Bluetooth ad. All right, listen, because they don't sponsor us, pal. All right, what do we give Raw as a whole? Like, huh?
do you have struggles after 12 o'clock?
Oh God!
Wait!
What is that time?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Everybody stop.
as V said a couple weeks ago, if you slipping, you got a problem.
Yeah, you might want to get that
Wait,
checked out.
who said that?
You did.
You
I
did.
be high. Child be high. I don't know what it is.
All right, we lost a viewer. All right, so
I
what
be high.
what do we give Raw? What do we give Raw, guys? And no, this is not a Blue Chew ad.
2 count, man.
2 count for Raw. All right.
I too am gonna say a 2 count.
I'm going to say 2 also.
I'm intrigued by this Ms. Johnny Gargano thing, though.
See, I don't really care that much. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really.
I just want to know what it is.
Yeah, I want to know what it is, but it's in terms of like Johnny and the Miz. I'm like, all right. I mean, I guess. But I guess 2 Ohio guys. I'm assuming, right? I think Johnny's from Ohio as well.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's correct.
So yeah, I guess it's cool. NXT was cool. I guess they did the false title change with Nikita and Zoe, but that didn't stand. Which
Look
I thought
at
was
God
cool.
the Father.
But it looks like they're gonna get it because they're doing they're doing a rematch, which kind of indicates to me that they're gonna get the titles. They wouldn't be doing a rematch if they weren't gonna get the titles. So it looks like they're gonna get it. Whatever. I'm trying to think what else happened that was newsworthy on NXT. Probably nothing.
Oh, I
Nothing
got
really.
something. I
What?
got something. Oh, you talking about as far as WWE is concerned or wrestling overall?
NXT. I'm talking about NXT.
Oh, NXT. Oh, no.
Nah, all right. Yeah, Truth is gonna face Grayson Waller, and Ilya Dragunov lost again to JD McDon't Google me. And that was pretty much NXT. Thought it was a 2 count show. Like, honestly, I'm trying to run through it here. We're late here on the East Coast. 2 count for me.
JD McDon't Google.
Yeah, JD McDon't Google me, like, at all. Do not Google. Don't Google him. Just don't. Don't Google him, and don't put the word child in it. What were you gonna say? Yeah. Well, okay. No. All right. What do we give NXT? A 1 count for NXT. Wow, really?
I agree.
Whoa.
I'm gonna have to say it. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What you got, Knuckles? Roman Reigns is overrated and CM Punk is trash. Not if his dog got hit in the face, but I don't know if that's a true story or not. I have no idea what's going on with that. And
the boys are fighting.
The boys are fighting. The girls are fighting. Like, it's a lot going on. Like, it's a lot going on. Britt Baker apparently was on the Swerve podcast, and she basically was talking about she shows up to work every day. Doesn't matter if she's injured, and people took that as a shot at Thunder Rosa. I mean, okay. Okay. Thunder Rosa didn't seem to like that. I think she did respond, but I don't actually have the response in front of me, so I'm not going to misquote her. But she basically thanked everybody for. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. All right. Speaking of the girls, the top 10 list came out for PWI. I guess all of it came out, but I only have the top 10. I don't want to mess up some of these names.
Girls. The girls are fighting.
But
the girls
number
are angry.
number one on the list was Sarai, not Saraya from AEW, but Stardom. Bianca Belair came in at number 2.
Not Noodle Neck.
Guys, please relax.
Ooh,
Bianca's at number 2. Thunder Rosa is at number 3.
That I completely disagree with, but whatever.
Okay, we'll get to it. Becky Lynch at number 4. Jade Cargill at number 5. Number 6, Jordan Grace from Impact. Number 7, Saya? Saya from Stardom. I hope I'm not mispronouncing her name. Number 8, Charlotte Flair. Number 9.
Completely disagree.
Number 9, Starlight Kid from Stardom. And number 10, Taya Valkyrie. Of course, AAA and Impact. What do we think here? This is go for the pin. I'll let Knuckles go first since he was. I know V usually goes first on this, but Knuckles disagrees on certain things here. So, let's hear Knuckles' opinion on it.
Run that down 1 to 10 one more time.
All right, I don't know how to pronounce this person's name correctly, so I hope I'm not miscorrecting it, pronouncing it or whatever. She's a Japanese wrestler. Surai, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Okay, I'm giving that the benefit of the doubt because I've never seen her wrestle. Number 2,
Bianca Belair. Number 2,
I agree with that. Number 3,
Thunder Rosa.
Hell no. Hell no. How the heck? No. Now let's
keep this in mind. Hold on.
No.
Let's use some clarity here, right? So this PWI list is based on, I guess I could say it now since I'm kind of in the business. It's based on kayfabe, right? So all right, for example, Bianca Belair is on the list because she's been champion for like 7 months at this point, 6. No, longer than that, right?
200 plus days.
Yeah. So she's been
about
on
7
top
months.
for about 7 months. Thunder Rosa also was champion for a long period of time. During the time period that they use, I think they used from like. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's from November to August, I believe. Something like that. So by that stance, so by that, because it is a K-word list, Thunder Rosa would be pretty high. Maybe not 3, but pretty high. I don't trust these rankings if Bianca isn't number 1. Have you watched Stardom? I haven't, so I don't know.
I haven't either.
I can't say. I don't know.
The girls are brutal on Stardom.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt because I've never seen it before. But Thunder Rosa, I'm taking Thunder Rosa being 3 as BS based on a couple of factors.
Okay.
Number 1, her title run wasn't the best.
It wasn't. Now, was it because of her, or was it because of how she was booked?
Well, wouldn't that go one and the same? Because if you're a champion, you would think the booker would put your champions at a priority list, no matter if you're men or women. If you're a champion and you hold a title,
you would think
you would think so. But Thunder Rosa's title reign was trash. I said it. Don't at me. Fight me. I don't care. It was trash. If anything, okay, that's the basis on what Thunder Rosa is.
Try to fight him. I'm jumping in, just letting you guys know that.
No discredit to her ability, no discredit to her career accolades. Yeah, no discredit, anything like that. I'm just going based upon what I see on TV every Wednesday and every Friday. They did not book her correctly, which made me disinterested. Which made me think that she does not need to be number 3.
Okay,
that's that.
That's fair. V, any argument so far?
So, the stands. Oh, I need to be back in school. So I am familiar with Siri. I'm probably.
Is Siri? That's how you pronounce it?
I believe. I am so sorry if it's not. Somebody can go ahead and correct me. I will not be upset.
Yeah.
But the young lady that ended up being number 1. Looking at her matches, like a majority of her matches in 2022, I understand.
Okay.
Why? I get it. Everybody is so brand focused, I guess, if you want to call it that. You know, it's either this company or bust, or this company or bust. If you're not part of this company, bitch, we don't know you. And I think that's part of the problem with wrestling fans.
Real quick, V, is Stardom independent?
Yeah. Yes.
I've never heard of it. That's why I'm asking the question.
It's mainly Joshi wrestlers.
Okay.
So Ooh, those women. Woo! Oh, fighting stiff. Whew, man, I would never get in the ring with them. But disrespecting her because she's number one because Bianca or Thunder Rosa or Becky or Jade didn't get number one. You felt that they deserved number one. I get it. I mean, it's a list. Some people get upset. Some people don't. Some people make it. That yes, it was shade. Um, some people take it as a motivation to get better.
Yeah.
I understand you not being familiar with the person, but saying that this person is trash or this, that, and third, and you haven't even taken a second to at least YouTube a match.
Yeah.
Those are the worst kind of wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Because, I was familiar with her work just a couple of matches. I've seen her name. Her name was really familiar. And with her matches compared to everyone else on the list, I understand why.
Right. Okay.
So yeah. Y'all could be mad about it. It's fine. It's just a list, you guys.
It's just a list, exactly. And a list is subjective. All right.
I don't agree with Thunder Rosa, and I don't agree with Charlotte Flair. I'm sorry. If you haven't been on, I understand she went and got married and everything like that. And congratulations to her. I hope she has much success in her marriage with Andrade. But as far as wrestling is concerned, I haven't seen you, and I lost interest. So, and I kind of think, like I said, don't at me. Come on and fight me. I really think that she's only put on that top 10 because of her past accolades.
Okay.
And if anything, I know who I would replace Charlotte with.
Who is that?
Mandy Rose.
There's a fair argument to make. Definitely a fair argument to make.
You can't go wrong with what longest reigning women's champion in NXT history. Or is it just because it's developmental that you don't put her on the list?
Well, because if that's the case, then yeah, I mean, half of these girls. All right, let me not even, because that's gonna start something else, and I'm not even trying to get into it.
The fact that Mandy Rose wasn't on that list is disappointing.
No, she is on that list. She's just not in the top 10.
Well, yeah. Top 10. I mean, longest reigning champion should stand for something, whether it's developmental or if it's main roster. It doesn't matter which one. You're not wrong. You still put the same effort in developmental as you do on the main roster. You just don't get as much TV time. But despite all of that, despite TV time, you're still the longest reigning champion of the company or show that you're currently on. That should count for something. And we haven't seen Charlotte in 5 months.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Don't at me.
Don't have promo there.
I'm just saying. Sometimes wrestling writers and wrestling fans can be idiots, and they don't see a
lot.
They don't see the obvious. I mean, come on, man. If I was a betting man, I'd have lost $1 million betting against Mandy Rose. Like what the?
I know.
Yeah. How many times are you going to bet against a woman and then she proves you wrong every time? Like, come on, seriously. But
okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. All right.
You know what?
I didn't say it. Knuckles cut the promo.
I'm just saying.
AEW. And then we get out of here. AEW. We had the Ring of Honor World Champion Chris Jericho and the Ring of Honor Pure Champion Daniel Garcia versus Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. To open the show. You said you didn't care?
I only cared about one thing as far as AEW is concerned.
All right, let's get to what you cared about then. What did you? Everybody, let's talk about what we cared about instead of running down the whole show. I like that format. What did you care about?
Yeah, let's do that.
I cared about the fact that the baby-faced assassin of women's wrestling is finally all elite.
Yay! Yes.
That's all I cared about.
Yeah, of course. Of
That's
course.
all I
was
cared
like, wait.
about. And they answered all of my questions from the facial expression that she gave me at Battle Club.
She told you
I
in
did,
person.
because I did. No, she didn't tell me.
Well,
I
she
asked her
kind of gave
while
it
taking a
away.
picture. I said, "So, yeah. So, are you all elite or not?" And she's just like, "I just go where they tell." Like, okay, say less. And then, like 4 weeks later, she's all elite. So happy for her, man. So happy.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the one and the only Willow Nightingale is
And there it
officially
is.
all elite. This is a Willow Nightingale stan account, stan show, stan host. We love Willow over here. So happy for her.
Yes.
I
You guys
I
know
want
this
her to be the
will
one to
never
be.
come on our show again, now, right?
I know, but we can say we had her. We can say we had her because we did.
We'd have to go through our PR team.
And that's fine. She told me that she liked my purple hair, and that's all that mattered to me. But anyway, very very happy for Willow. Seriously, all of us has been on the signed Willow Nightingale gravy train for a while now. I'm glad she has found her place in AEW, and well,
Tony Khan utilize her.
Jade, Miss Cargill, I love you down. But if anybody
talk your talk
is to officially beat Jade for the TPS title, if it's not Willow Nightingale, what the fuck are you doing? Besides,
bro, she already lost her like 3 times.
I know. I'm just saying.
I don't think it will be Willow, but it'd be kind of cool. But I don't think it will be Willow.
I want Willow to have everything. Give Willow everything.
Yes.
Give her every title. I don't care.
Okay. So did MJF turn babyface at the end of
Nope.
Those losses was warm-ups. No, they weren't. Okay, no, they weren't.
Exactly. They were warm-ups. They were like cardio.
Hold on a second.
It's cardio.
Oh, okay. Well, Knuckles needs a second. We'll get back to Knuckles in a second, but
There we go. All right,
so
can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my phone was about to die. I had to put it on charger.
All right. Well, we're about to get out of here anyway, so it's okay. All right.
Oh, well, thanks, pal.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a feedback, so we're gonna try to. All right. It's okay. All right. So MJF, did he turn heel at the end? I mean, did he turn babyface at the end of the show here? Beatdown City. No, right? Nope. We're all on the same. I don't think so either. I think it's more of a tweener, if anything. But babyface, no. MJF's not a babyface. He said he's not going to use the diamond ring. I think he's most definitely going to use the diamond ring because heels lie. Okay, that's the old adage.
I don't think he is.
You think he's going to use William Regal's brass knuckles?
Nope.
I see what I did there. Oh.
Nope.
Crap, I thought I had one.
Nope.
Damn.
Thought you had one.
Nope.
Yeah.
You thought.
You just lost one.
You think what now?
So he's gonna beat him clean. And this isn't a prediction show, of course, but all right.
Nope.
Well,
I think Stokely Hathaway is gonna do it. I think this is all a ploy that he's in on it with the firm.
I mean, for him to be in on a pretty big beatdown for him to be in on, but I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's possible. That was Beatdown City. I mean, table spot and all that. So I don't know, but it could be all a Swerve, pal. It could be Swerve City Jones here.
Whose house?
Swerve's house, apparently. Might be Daddy Ass house, but yeah, go ahead, V.
I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. I really did. I did.
V.
No.
No. Right.
No. I'm not going to do it.
This is gonna
All
look
right.
good on replay.
It's not making the replay. All right.
I hope the fuck not.
Our
I'll
editing
edit
team
that in
is
post.
phenomenal. But anyway,
Thank you.
welcome. Anyway, what do we think about Dynamite? Oh God, I'm not doing this with y'all. Penta got beat. Hold on, Penta got beat by Moxley, and then it was the beatdown, and that was pretty much AEW.
What about the promo with Thanos returning to AEW?
Yeah. Okay. So the Elite is back. We can tell they're back. We know what it's gonna be. They're coming back soon. I presume at full gear. It's interesting. It looks like they're gonna be coming back as heels. But it's interesting. I guess they're gonna come back and try to destroy AEW. We've seen that type of storyline before, but this is a little bit different because I'm gonna kill it. It's one of those type of like one of those type of things.
You know what? Do you know what I read that I think was full of false pretenses?
What?
But I thought was kind of interesting though.
What?
And the Elite coming back and them bringing Punk back and representing Ring of Honor.
That would be crazy.
And they have Ring of Honor and AEW clashing. I read that.
I think Phil's done. He might be done.
Yeah,
with
Phil's done, but the fact that was put out in the atmosphere.
Oh, he's finished.
Hey man, I don't know the true story, but if his dog really got hit in the face, like anybody that's an animal lover knows, like you lose it over your pet. So like that's what I'm saying. If this really happened, there's two sides to every story. Right? I'm ending the show, guys. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll go over the pin. For King DJ Knuckles, Mikey Q, I had it up to here. Danny Nemesis, thank you.
Wait.
Oh. That was the go home cue.
No, wait. Ooh. I'm not shit because I just somebody accidentally jumped a flight in me.
So the story is when those are non-binary. I'm sorry. Okay, so the story is when they kicked in CM Punk's door, the dog Larry was right behind the door and apparently got hit in the face. And CM Punk apparently lost it at that point. So yeah, I mean and that was Dynamite.
Not funny. It's not funny.
It's not
because if that was my dog, I would have lost it right then and there. Also,
that's what I'm saying. If that is the true story, I can understand CM Punk throwing the first punch.
It's a deep breath for me. I'm sorry.
Woosah.
Okay. Whew, Father. All right. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end the show.
We're ending the show. Dynamite gets a 2 count for me.
Yeah, same as well.
I am your Nemesis, Danny Nemesis. If you want to follow our great guest, Danny Nemesis, so insightful. Definitely gonna get him on for part 2 because we ain't even scratched the surface of everything that he's got going. So we're gonna get him on again. Knuckles is tearing up. V, take us home, pal.
Okay, so with that being said and understood, you can follow the show at _show on Instagram and Go for the Pin Show on Twitter. You can follow me, King V, at King V _ the ruler on Instagram and _ Watch My Girl on Twitter. You can follow Mike at DJ Mike EQ on Twitter and Mike _ EQ on Instagram. You can follow DJ Knuckles at
DJ_Knuckles
yes.
on Instagram.
I was
JPS
running out of
Music
gas.
15 on Twitter.
Yes.
You can also follow Bon G. Make sure that you follow Bon G.
Sea
Sea
Thoughts Music.
Thank you, Knuckles.
You're welcome.
Yes. Really,
And-
really quick.
Yeah.
Really quick. So, happy homecoming to my alma mater, the illustrious North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University.
Okay.
It's about to be real lit out here, G-Ho. Shout outs to my HBCU, the best HBCU with the best HBCU homecoming. And that's all tea, reduced shade. And
Howard told me.
happy Halloween, you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Huh?
Overrated. I've been.
So have I.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I have too. We don't talk about that. Anyway.
Wasn't you
Happy
at LA?
Halloween, you guys. Y'all be safe. Shit. What else?
If you're in New York, Love
Feliz el
Story.
Dia de los Muertos.
Love Story in Brooklyn. If you're in New York, Love Story in Brooklyn this weekend. Stay away from that poom poom juice.
No, actually, get all of it. Drink all of it, and say that Mikey Q told you to drink all of it. That TV had nothing to do with it.
Drink ye all of it. All right.
Get all the poom poom juice. Just yeah.
All right.
We out of here.
It's a drink.
Raider Raw, support Raider Raw as well. We out of here. Good night,
We're
everybody.
done. We're finished.
You finished or you done?
Pot, you done.
Put some respect on it.
All three, y'all. Good night.